Hello there, Chucklefucks. It's your boy, Dark Raikou, back here with another part 2 of What If Issei, I'm not gonna say his last name because I forgot completely, but had the powers of the Dragon and Shadow Monarchs. But now, so this is part 2 of it. I know I said I was going to probably just do one part, but then again, fuck it. So other than that, let me begin into this what if, and let me shut the fuck up. But yeah, I should also mention that it's freezing cold where I'm living, and it's right now. I'm wearing like some kind of, never mind. But this is just a second channel, so yeah, not the point. So yeah, my second channel I'm gonna upload this video, and then on my first channel I'm gonna upload 3 different what ifs tomorrow. We're trying to, if I can. If I can't, then I'll just keep doing what's called either part 3 for this or probably not. I don't care. Maybe another Issei what if, because I do have another one. But not the point. Let me go into this what if and let me shut the fuck up. But yeah. But other than that, let's begin. We go into Issei right now, just easily destroying the fallen angels. This is where, he says these fallen angels are nothing but patheticness. This is where, he managed to kind of find, Grimory, or also known as Rias Grimory. And Rias was shocked to see the blast radius. Well, not blast radius, it was only like the radius of kind of destruction. And this is where, she's at the crater, and this is where, Song said, or mostly Issei says, so how do you like the destruction here? This is where, Rias says, what exactly are you? Oh no. Do you want to find out? This is where Ria says, no, I don't. Good. Because I wouldn't even show you even once. This is where Asia kind of says, Issei! This is where she runs up to him to see if he's okay. See if he needs healing. This is where Issei says, why are you looking around me? This is where she says, it's because I thought you were hurt. This is where Issei says, me? Hurt? Yeah, right. This is where, she says, you don't need to be so mean about it. Issei says, I'm not trying to be mean, but I guess my personality just kind of looks like it, but whatever. This is where, she says, okay. But we go into a time skip later on. Mostly, Rias is right now in her kind of research club, whatever, or occult research club. This is where, she is right now kind of asking, Asia, if she wants to become a devil. This is where, Asia then asks if Issei's a devil. That's where Issei is not a devil, he's only in alliance with the devils. This is where, Asia then tries to think in what she wants to be. Either a devil, that means she won't be able to kind of, be any holy person. But really, they already outcast her before, but yeah. Of course, she's just thinking. And that's where, Issei said, you're really giving her no choice, are you? This is where, Aria says, I would give her another choice, but I don't know if I want to. This is where, Issei said, okay, then what do you perhaps you want to do? This is where, Aria says, she's really talented in healing, I can see that. And she has a sacred gear, but, how should I say? This is where, Issei kind of put his hand over mostly Asia's head, and says, listen up here. First, don't look at me. I don't really like people looking at me. Second of all, what exactly do you want to do in life? This is where, Asia thinks about it. She really just wants to help a lot of people, mostly with her powers. That doesn't mean just angels or people in general. She can heal devils, and she doesn't care. She just wants to be a good person. This is where, she then thinks about Issei, but Issei's a different case. Issei doesn't need the protection of anyone. No devils, no fallen angels, no angels. He's a basically solo army himself. This is where, and also the destruction power that they all saw. Well, not the blast radius, just the destruction mostly aftermath. But yeah, he one-shot a bunch of fallen angels without a care in the world. This is where, Asia doesn't know if she can do something like that, which she probably can't. So of course she then tries to think about it. If she decides to not become a devil, she won't have these kind of nice people, what she thinks mostly in her head. Because yeah, and also she's going to have to forget about, well, Issei, even though Issei was nice enough to kind of save her. Kind of, it was mostly an accident, but yeah, or mostly just there, but yeah. But of course, well, she then says, I want to become a devil. This is where, well, Rita says, good. Then we should kind of put the, well, you should be my bison, or whatever the hell it's called. Not bison, what is it fucking called? That one chess piece. But whatever, I forgot what it's called. This is where, well, Asia becomes a devil way early on, but yeah. This is where, well, they are kind of going to, well, she is actually going to school and all that, but yeah. Of course, the next day happens, and of course, they are kind of, well, mostly Asia is, well, inside of, well, not inside, mostly just at the research club, they call it research club. Of course, they're right, what's it called? She's also going to school and all that with Issei, and of course, she's right now following Issei. That's where Issei says, you know, you don't really need to follow me. That's where Asia says, no, it's fine. This is where, well, Issei says, whatever. This is where, well, they go to the, well, school and all that, and of course, there's still so many girls trying to ask out Issei, and Issei just looks at them, glares at them, and just walks away, like way out of care. And of course, girls are falling in love with him, even though he doesn't give a fuck. This is where, well, Asia kind of follows Issei, and of course, most of the guys kind of glares at Issei because there's a hot new girl and all that. And of course, then the girls are kind of glaring at Asia, but at the same time, not trying to. But yeah, this is where, oh, Asia says, why are they looking at me? Issei says, don't know, but I have a way for them to shut up. This is where he kind of glares and uses death touch, a small bit of it. But of course, almost all the guys almost pass out from the fact that a glance. A glare. But yeah, of course it worked. Well, Issei says, did he do something to them? No. Issei lied because he can realize that, well, Asia would have helped the, what's called, dudes, because, well, she doesn't know much better. But yeah, that's work. Well, Issei says they just pass out from just being too damn freaky. This is work. Well, Asia says, then I need to heal them. No, don't do that. Just ignore them. This is where they go into the class of Issei's, and of course, the work, well, the teacher kind of says, this is Lady Asia and all that. And of course, the guys are going on about their perverted mind and all that. And of course, the work, well, the girls are kind of saying, oh, it's another girl. This is where, well, Asia kind of sits next to Issei. And of course, the where the guys kind of glares at Issei, but Issei kind of uses death touch to shut them the fuck up. But yeah. That's the work. Well, that is happening the whole day. Mostly guys tries to kind of get near Asia, but of course being next to Issei kind of gives them the second thoughts of saying fuck no. But yeah, but of course this work. Well, with that happening, a bunch of people are kind of like, well, kind of just doing whatever. But yeah, Issei on the other hand is just bored out of his mind, just being in this school. But yeah. Asia, she's actually never experienced this much because she's from a different country, but yeah. Or mostly a different foreign land, but yeah. This is where, well, everyone is, well, that is happening, so, but this is where we go into a time skip. Asia is right now in the park with Issei, and of course, this is where, well, Issei is just walking, this is where, well, Asia says, that was really nice, I guess. That's where Issei says, I guess. He had his two old perverted friends kind of try to hit at him, and also kind of, well, hit on, what's it called? Mostly not hit on him, not like sexually and all that. Mostly tried to like punch him and all that for the fact that he left their asses like on part one in that one dojo thing because he just didn't give a fuck. And this is where, well, this, they tried to hit on Asia like flirty and all that. But this is where, well, Issei kind of grabbed both their heads and just smashed them together, knocking them out. But yeah, that's the way. Well, Asia would have liked to heal them if Issei didn't just grab her kind of wrist and just like walked away. But yeah, that's the way. Well, Asia's confused sometimes with Issei and how he kind of acts and all that. He acts like someone like an overprotective brother, or like in other words, just doesn't care. But yeah, This is where, well, Issei, he is kind of just like, well, they're walking in the park and all that until a fallen angel appears. The fallen angel that tries to portray what's it called, Issei in the beginning. The girl named Rianisha? I don't remember her name. It was like Rianis or something like that. Rianis? I don't remember. That's what, well, she sends a, what's it called, light spirit at, well, Song, or mostly Issei, and just grabs and cracks it. That's where Issei says, "You again. It seems you didn't learn the first time, and I'm guessing you want to die this time." It's where she realized she fucked up and realized this is Issei. That's where Issei says, "Arise, Icarus." Icarus appears, right now having a sword and glaring at the fallen angel. This is where, well, she said, "Wait, have mercy, have mercy." This is where, well, Icarus would have killed her if it wasn't for Issei say, "Stop, Icarus." Icarus kind of stops, but the sword is really close to her face. Issei bows down, almost he kind of says, "Sure, I'll have mercy. How about this? I'll give you the second mercy and the reason why you dare to try to attack me." She said, I only need the girl." This is where, well, Issei says, "No, either you leave me now and the girl, or I'll rip you into two." This is where, well, Issei kind of says with no emotion in his voice. This is where, well, the girl says, "Yes." The fallen angel leaves. This is where Issei, he then still has the shadow still tracking and knows where all the fallen angels should be at. This is where, well, he says, "Well, I'm going to wipe them out later on, but yeah." This is where, well, Issei says, "Asia, go back to the, what's it called, research club. I'm gonna need to go home. I'm gonna need to think." That's where she says, "I understand." She goes back to the research club because she lives there a little bit, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei disappears into a shadow, right now appearing right in front of all the fallen angels, and also kind of those, I think, ex-priest, well, not ex, yeah, there's the ex-priest and the other people. That's where they're confused and how Issei got here. Issei says, "Arise, come out, foot soldiers." So many appeared at once. It's where Icarus appears, right now just looking at what's it called, these people. It's where, well, Song says, "Get rid of the fallen angels, Icarus." Icarus does, by ripping through them, ripping through all three of them, mostly the three dads, mostly Rias and Anaka would have won. But of course, Icarus just rips through them so easy, just cutting them into two. In such a speed blitz. This is where the other kind of followers, they're trying to attack Issei, mostly the followers who are kind of with the priest. The priest tries to attack Issei until this is where the foot soldiers like block the attacks. This is where the priest tries to attack. While Issei grabs his arms, breaks them, and then just snap his leg by kind of just stomping on his knee and just snapping it into a different way. Issei say, "You know, you're quite annoying. I should probably kill you." "No, I should." This is where he grabs his dagger and just cut this guy's head into two. This is where, well, not into two, mostly cut his head off. This is where then he looks towards Rias or Renus or whatever her goddamn name is, and of course she said, "How did you lied?" Issei says, "Of course I lied. I'm the goddamn death. I'm a reaper of life. Do you really expect me to actually give you mercy in the first place? You dare to attack me in the first place. I'm only here to do what is need to be done." That's what she says. "You're a monster." Issei gets really close to her, and of course, well, she was trying to, like, she was about to move until shadow soldiers appear right now, just grabbing her from the arm and also wings, stopping her from moving. This is where Issei gets close and of course puts his, what's it called, mostly like his index finger near, what's it called, her chin. This is where, well, Issei says, "You know, I could kill you or I can't kill you. Doesn't matter to me. So let's play a little game. Which thing do you want to pick?" Mostly he pulls out a coin, is a quarter, and is kind of has heads and tails. This is where, well, he says, "Which one do you want to be? You want to be heads or tails?" This is where, well, she says, "Are you just gonna gamble on my life?" "Yep." This is where Issei says in a cheerful, evilish tone. This is where, well, she winds her eyes and gulps. This is where she says head. This is where, well, Issei says tails then. He flips the coin up, he catches it and then put it on his, like, what's it called, back of his hand, right hand. This is where, what it shows, it's tails. This is where she whines and says, we can talk about this. I'll give you anything. This is where Issei says, too late for that. This is where he makes a dagger right now appears in his hand made out of shadows, and she just gets her head cut off in an instant. This is where Issei says, "Ksh, weakling." This is where, well, Issei says, all of you, wrap it up. This is where all of them do kind of wrap it up. And this is where Issei was about to use his kind of ability to arise the fallen angels until Rias appears saying, you know, that's very evil for you to do. I guess you wiped out the fallen angels for me. I wish you could have done it with my concern since we're alliance. We're alliance. I never said I was going to give you any information, Issei said. Burn even looking at her. This is where, well, she said, I know that. I now know that. Just think of this like a good-natured thing for me. I got rid of the fallen angels that might have been bothersome in the near future. They were after Asia. And besides, she has a sacred gear to heal, so I'm guessing they wanted her healing ability. Isn't it? Well, Ria says, I see. Why won't you ever rely on other people? Issei said, for the one reason, I don't like anyone. Now, if you don't mind me, I'm not gonna arise them. They're just gone. This is where, well, he then ignited them with fire, mostly their bodies, and this is where, well, Issei, mostly all the shadows went back towards him. That's where, well, Issei walks past Rias and just says this. Don't annoy me with stuff. I don't like people. Near future, don't bother me that much. That's where Issei walks past her and then just keeps walking away. He then says shadow exchange, and a shadow appears in his place before disappearing also. This is where, well, Ria says, damn it. Fine. This is where we go into a time skip, and of course, this is where, well, Issei, he kind of has Asia still living with him because, yes, Ria still kind of did that whole shit and all that. And Issei doesn't think of her as like a lover or anything because this is where, well, Ria's saying that it'll be good for her. She will become like a good wife and all that, like her skill. And that's where Issei says, wife? I see her as a little sister. Wow, it's creepy enough to even say that she would be like a wife or anything. That's where, well, Asia widened her eyes, and she wasn't thinking that Issei would say that she kind of looks like a little sister. That's where the two parents of Issei say, oh, come on, don't you want grandkids? I mean, we want grandkids, so it doesn't matter. It should be good. That's where, well, Issei says, whatever. I only get grandkids. Sure, if you want grandkids, I can go adopt them right now. This is where, well, they say, no. This is where, well, it's already hard enough for Issei to even open up about what he likes or anything. And it's pretty damn hard when he's kind of like looking like he's an emo pastor, but yeah. This is where, well, Rias was actually shocked to believe Asia is kind of like a little sister to Issei. Well, Issei kind of sees it, but yeah. This is where Rias kind of looks somewhere else and kind of seems ashamed a little bit. Mostly not from her kind of saying that Asia can be like a wife to Issei. No, it's from her kind of, well, life. And mostly her kind of older brother, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei notices, but he didn't question on it because he just didn't care that much. This is where, well, Asia is living with Issei, and of course Issei doesn't really care. He'll have to protect her like a little sister, no matter what. But yeah, of course, where, well, Issei and, well, Asia do go to the school next day, but yeah, of course this happened for a couple days until, well, something happens in the well, what's it called, research club. This is where, well, they talk about the, what's it called, familiars, and how everyone in the research club have the familiar. But of course, this is where, well, Sonia appears about like the familiar thing, and she wants a contest and all that. And this is where that whole thing still happens. Of course, Issei wasn't there because he just didn't give a shit. He does see the whole context, but didn't care that much. This is where later on, Ria's kind of noticed that they were kind of outnumbered, and they don't know if they can get Asia what's it called, a familiar, until she decides to call upon someone to just get help from. This is where, well, Issei walks through the double doors, most of the gym, and kind of says, "What do you want, Rias?" This is where, well, Rias kind of says, "Hello, son." This is where a guy from mostly Soya's team kind of says, mostly because he's a pawn and all that, that has 4 pawn and, well, a pawn of 4 chests inside him, but yeah, that sounds kind of wrong, but yeah. He says, "Who is that? Was that someone like another pawn of yours? Huh?" This is where, well, Soya says, "Aren't you that boy that was in the principal's office?" This is where, well, Song didn't answer them, but this is where the guy says, "Hey, answer me!" This is where, well, mostly not Song. I'm gonna keep calling him Song on accident, but it's Issei. It's just the fact that he does have what's it called, the Shadow Monarch abilities, and usually I'm gonna just call him Song, so sorry about that. This is where, well, Issei kind of looks at the guy when barely even like cares. This is where Issei just flips him off, and this is where the guy says, "Fine, let's start this. I'm gonna show that bastard what it means to, well, mess with me. I am a pawn, and that guy is nothing to me. I have 4 pawns." This is where the others, mostly of Soya's team, kind of looks confused at Song because he doesn't seem to have double energy around him. This is where Soya is going to actually ask Rias later about the whole problem with Song. This is where, well, Rias instead doesn't say it, well, close with, what's it called, Soya. She doesn't actually say, like, in close combat, no. When they was starting, this is where Rias says, "Don't worry, guys, this is Song, or not Song, this is Issei. He's an alliance between our club. So, good luck with his destruction power." This is where the guy says, "Huh? What are you talking about?" Issei grabs one of the dodgeballs, and this is where it ignites into just like this purplish kind of color around it. And this is where Issei just tosses it. Well, it looks like he tosses it, but it went so quick that it hit this guy in the ground. He fell down to the ground and just hurt really bad. This is where, well, Issei kind of chuckles and says, "Dumbass. Like I said, why would I actually need to answer to some weakling, pathetic idiot?" This is where, well, Soya kind of says, "I see, an alliance. But that doesn't make sense. Why wouldn't she use him as a pawn?" This is where, well, Issei then grabs the other dodgeballs that were coming towards him, but he just grabs them pretty easily, like his speed, and just grabbing the balls was pretty easily, the dodgeballs. This is where, well, he then pushes them down, and this is where almost a bunch of people were out. Next, it is mostly the final battle is between, mostly they all use magic against, I should mention, Issei, but Issei just catches it all. Now, the last match is, what's it called, Rias and Song versus Soya. Soya says, "Damn it, it's 2 against 1. I don't want my, what's it called, pride to hurt me, so I'm gonna have to give up." This is where, well, before she even says give up, Issei throws her like a ball, and it just hits her in the head, and she goes, This is where Rias goes. She was about to just start giggling because, well, Issei didn't really care that much. Didn't hear her out or anything, just bonked her in the head with the ball. Just like tosses it and just bonks her. This is where she glares at Issei just because she was about to just give up, but then just realized that Issei didn't care that much. His glasses make it so hard for, what's it called, mostly his shades make it so hard to even understand his emotions. This is where, well, Ria's team managed to win, and of course, this is where, well, everyone was shocked and dumbfounded, and this is where, well, everyone says, "Damn it, we're not getting a familiar until later on." This is where, well, everyone is kind of just shocked, but yeah. This is where that one guy says, "Ugh, I'm not even, screw you, you bastard. You must be in alliance with Rias. Such a pathetic kind of group. Guess what? Soya is such a much better leader than Rias. Why don't you make an alliance with her?" This is where, well, Song says, "Because I don't want to be bothered with idiots like you." This is where the guy says, "Why you?" He gets up and tries to fight against Song. This is where, well, before the guy even gets close to Song, something was already upon him. A soldier right now having, well, 2 soldiers already having 2 blades. One side of, well, the front neck, but being at the right side, and of course the behind him with a sword, but at the left side. It's where Issei say, you know, if you would have moved any closer, you would have been executed right on the spot. You see here, the reason why I'm an alliance and not a fucking servant is because I have the power to just, well, control and manipulate soldiers from the undead. So I suggest, unless you want to become one of my newest undead members, I suggest you fuck off or die. That's where the guy, he's right now, wasn't going to move because, well, he can barely even move when fear is right now coursing through his body. Soya won her eyes. This is where the other members of Soya's group is just shocked. This is where Rias kind of grins and says, yeah, pretty much that's why we have an alliance. This is where, not song, mostly Issei said, come back, Shadow Soldiers. The Shadow Soldiers do, and this is where Issei appears right in front of the guy, walking towards him, but ignores him. This is where, Issei says, like again, I can't believe you're a servant. You're so pathetic to even, but I can't believe you're over here talking about being some tough person, yet you're a servant. Pathetic. This is where the guy was about to move until he gets his, back kicked into the fucking wall. Like, he gets smashed into the wall. This is where Issei says, pathetic. Couldn't even react to my speed. Shut your dumbass up next time you talk to me. I don't give a shit if you're the strongest member of Soya's team or not. This is what, Issei just walks away and not gives a shit. This is where Issei says, done. I should also mention Rias. For the love of God, don't drag me into stupid shit like this. This is where Rias says, but this was for Asia. That's where Issei says, oh, if it was for Asia's sake, what does Asia even need? This is where, Rias says, a familiar. Do you know what a familiar is? The hell is that? This is where Rias says, oh, so you don't? No, I don't. Do you have one? Well, clearly when I don't fucking know what that is, maybe I should have one, yeah. This is where Rias says, you don't need to be so sarcastic. Well, I don't fucking care. I help Asia in getting a familiar. What the hell do you want? Maybe you can get one? That's where, Issei looks at her and says, why the fuck would I want a familiar? I don't even know what it is. That's where, Rias says, I can show you. This is where, Issei says, please don't. This is where she does it anyway, because she realized that Issei usually would just try to ignore anyone. This is where she summons out a bat and then transforms into a girl and all that. And this is where it gives, kind of showing to be the same person that gave that whole wish letter or whatever the hell it was that Issei got. And this is where Issei says, so you will the... He glares at Rias. And Rias says, oh, come on. It was just... she's right now being really submissive. Shut up after a while. This is where Soya says, wow, being so submissive for someone that isn't going to be the one to make. This is where Rias says, shut up. This is where, Issei kind of looks confused but doesn't care that much. This is where he then points at Kiba to see if he has one. Kiba says, yeah, I got one. He has one, and, did it even show in the anime, or was it that Issei, original canon, Issei told him to shut up? I don't remember. That's where he points at Anaka. Anaka shows to have also one, this little doll, whatever. He points at Konako, and Konako has a, white cat. And that's where, he said, okay, so I'm guessing that the familiar is just some kind of companion. This is where, Rias says, of course. This is where Issei says, don't want one. This is where, Rias says, come on. This is where, Soya is saying, you seem to really... This is where Rias says, shut up, Soya. I don't care what you say most of the time. This is where, Rias is kind of trying to get Issei to kind of come with him, but yeah. This is where, mostly Asia managed to get Issei to come along, but yeah. This is where they go to the familiar land, or familiar forest land, or whatever. It's creepy as hell, and this is where Issei doesn't seem to really care. He has been in worse situations. This is where, the familiar person appears. This is where he says, hello there, travelers. It seems that you're here for your familiar. This is where, they go on similar original canon, but pretty much Issei doesn't really care about his familiar trying to look good or anything. He doesn't really care if it's a girl or a guy. He doesn't give a shit. This is where, well, they are looking all around. This is where, well, Issei sees a couple of familiars. This is where he sees a lightning dragon, which kind of lands for Asia, and Asia says, yeah. This is where slimes are falling off from the ground, or mostly not ground, mostly above. This is where Issei says, Icarus, wipe that off from the fucking face of the, what's it called, air. This is where Icarus does, and this is where Icarus just kills them all off. This is where Ria says, oh, thank God he's not a pervert. This is where all the girls gonna say, well, see, Asia didn't know what that was, but yeah. This is where, well, the other man is saying, you're pretty strong. And I'm guessing that's not a familiar. No, it's not. It's actually the undead. This is where the man says, wow, a powerful young man like you. I'm surprised you're a servant. This is where Issei glares at the older man and says, servant my ass. I'm only on alliance with Rias. This is where the older man says, ah, alliance. You're pretty strong. I can see why you're only in alliance. Well, I don't know if you can get a familiar. You're not truly a devil, so I don't know if you can. Issei says, I know, because I'm not a damn devil. Arias thought it would be a good idea to bring me along. But whatever, I can look around, can I? Here's where the old man says, yeah, you can. Issei is looking around. He sees some of the familiars, and he just doesn't care. Until he stumbles upon, well, one familiar. This is where this familiar is basically, well, a skeleton. And this is where, well, Issei kind of analyzed the skeleton, and it is a familiar. This is where, well, the skeleton is just called, well, the skeleton is named, well, just Skeleton 1. But of course, this is where Issei kind of looks into, well, a little bit into its skills and other things. This is where if it kind of gets upgraded further enough with Issei's power, or, well, kind of with Issei's power, well, not Issei. Issei kind of just looks at the skeleton familiar and says, you want to come along, skeleton familiar? This is the skeleton familiar nodded and gets up. And this is where, well, the skeleton familiar kind of accept, well, Issei to kind of, well, contain him and all that, or kind of become his familiar. And when it kind of made contact with Issei, it became actually different. It started, instead of just being all bones, it started having clothing, like purpley clothing, having a staff made out of bones, but of course having like this greenish aura on top of it, and having a crown. This is now called the Lich King skeleton. This is where, well, Issei says, interesting. It seems to be upgraded for my power. Well, young skeleton, let's go. That's where the skeleton decides to go on with Issei, but yeah. That's where Issei says, I found my familiar. That's where all of them looks at the skeleton, and it looks to be completely different. And this is where, well, Issei says, it looks like if I kill someone and I kill their also familiar, it seems this little guy can actually rise the undead of their familiar, meaning I'll be able to take their familiar. Issei grins at Rias, and Rias winds her eyes and say, you wouldn't never do that, right? That's where Issei says, oh, of course I'm gonna be doing that. Red hair, you see here, I am basically the undead user. I'm going to make an army. I just can't wait to kill some people just to take their familiars. The familiar, mostly the guy, the older man, says, well, you got a very powerful and very crazy and insane alliance, Rias, remember? So I'm gonna just say bye because I need to go take a shit. But yeah, he leaves, but yeah. They get back, and this is where Rias is just sweat dropping, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei says, but whatever, I'm gonna be leaving. That's where, well, that is happening, and of course, the next day kind of happens. Well, mostly a couple days pass, but yeah. Issei is right now sleeping in his bed, just taking a fucking nap. That's where, well, he then felt someone being on top of him. He opened his eyes and sees none other than Rias. This is where, well, pretty much it's, what's it called, Rias being on top of him, and this is where Rias says, Issei, with a very lewd kind of tone, very lustful tone at the same time. This is where Issei says, what the fuck are you doing? Get off of me. This is where, well, she says, no, I want you. She starts going on and on, saying that she wants Issei to do it with her. And this is where Issei says, oh my god, fuck off, I don't care. That's where Issei was trying to take a nap by moving his hand near his face and just going to sleep like that. Just putting both of his hands together like if he was clapping, but mostly just putting them together to take a nap. And just sleep away from Rias. But yeah, that's where Rias says, this is where Rias grabs what's it called, Issei's wrist, and like pulls it away from Issei trying to take a nap normally and all that. And this is where she tries to make him kind of grab her kind of in jugs and all that. That's where Issei kind of uses his will to just forcibly remove his hand, but uses to grab hers. And this is where, well, Rias says, oh, so you like doing it. This is where Issei says, okay, Rias, get the fuck off of me. That's where Issei stands up, and this is where Issei says, first of all, what the fuck are you doing? Oh my god, I'm tired. You're right now annoying me from my sleep. That's where Rias says, fine. Can you just do it with me? This is where Issei says, do what? You know, unless you don't know. Issei says, I do know, and I don't wanna. That's where Rias says, why not? Issei says, two things. It's right now 3 a.m. in the fucking night. 3 a.m. in the morning. Second reason, it is, how should I say? I don't know. I'm fucking tired, trying to go to sleep, and not be annoyed by you, red hair. This is where, well, Rias kind of just says, but Issei, you're the only, this is where Issei says, no. Don't Issei me, this bullshit. What exactly the fuck are you trying to do? Clearly, when you, well, the kind of couple of glances I look at you, you always seem so depressed and saddened. And you call me in for a couple of other things, but we're not out the group and trying to be flirty as hell. What exactly are you trying to accomplish? Because, well, first of all, I am not trying to do this shit, but whatever. This is where Rias says, okay. This is where a portal appears, and this is where someone else with white hair appears. This is where she says, Rias Grummery, what are you trying to do? This is where Rias Grummery says, I was just gonna give out anyone. This is where, well, the lady kind of complains about blah blah blah. They kind of go on, but this is where Issei kind of just takes a nap. This is where, well, the kind of white haired lady says, who exactly is this? Is he one of your pawns? This is where Rias says, this is where Issei wakes up from that bullshit that they're hearing that. Issei says, look here, lady, I'm not her pawn, I'm not her servant, and I'm not definitely her lover. Now look at here, bitch. I'm tired, get the fuck out of my room, or I'm gonna fucking annihilate you and Rias here out of my room. That's where she says, really? And how are you supposed to do that? Issei kind of gets the fuck up, and this is where, well, Rias says, Issei? This is where Issei's kind of is taller than this girl, or mostly the female. She's kind of the queen of Lucifer or whatever. This is where Issei says, get the fuck out of my room or I'll annihilate you right now. This is where she says, fine, I'll just leave. This is where, well, she felt very fear going through her body when Issei just mostly stood in front of her, tall and menacing. Mostly his eyes were showing because he didn't have a shade, and they were purple and red. This is where, well, she actually felt fear from them. This is where, well, she decides to take Rias with her, but yeah, the next day happens, and this is where, well, it's mostly about what's it called, what is happening and all that. Naka's there. This is where, well, the white-haired person is there, and this is where, well, the chicken dude actually appears. The yellow hair guy named Ryder Phoenix or something, whatever. This is where he appears, going on rambling, and this is where, well, they kind of hear like someone coming down from downstairs, or mostly from upstairs, because there's an upstairs level. But yeah, that's where, well, not upstairs, mostly from the shower, and of course the where, well, he like changes and all that, and this is where everyone is confused for a second, like who was taking a shower and all that. This is where Issei gets out. This is where Issei, he does have a shirt and all them other things, his black coat and all that. This is where, well, Issei kind of yawns and says, it really is. Is it bad enough for me just to use the showers? This is where, well, Issei, Issei? This is where Well, the Phoenix Suit says, "Who the hell are you? Oh, you must be one of the servants. Don't know why you were in the showers of my queen, of my newest queen, my bride." Issei says, "Well, I couldn't take a shower for much long unless I was taking it for like 30 seconds. Yeah, I was speed running my shower, but really I wasn't. It was just rambling on with so much bullshit that I just decided to cut my shower short. Ah, god damn, I should have never, ever somehow get rid of those goddamn magic circles from my fucking room. Ah, whatever." He then says, "I'll do that later." This is where Issei says, "Still, you ramble on so much. Shut the fuck up." This is where, well, mostly the writer, yeah, no, not writer, mostly the name, mostly the person named Writer, Phoenix says, "Huh? What did you say? You're only a servant. You should understand that I am a high." This is where Issei says, "Fuck you." This is where Ryder decides to try to swing on Issei, but Issei fucking beat him in the face, so hard in the face that he launches Ryder up in the fucking ceiling. This is where cracking his head up there. Issei says, "Again, don't fucking touch me unless you want me breaking your head." This is where, well, Ryder managed to get out, right now covering his body in flames. This is where he says, "Fine, I'm going to kill you, bastard." This is where he summons, well, mostly before that happening, the gray-haired lady says, "Fine." Sir Zex did say something about this happening. So, of course, this is where rating games will kind of happen, blah, blah, blah. This is where Iser says, "Okay, well, Rias, it seems that your, like, 6 people won't be able to stop mine." This is where he has, like, 15 and all of that. Mostly all of them are girls. Not mostly, all of them are girls entirely. This is where, well, Razor says, "Can you really defeat me, though?" This is where, well, Rias looks at, well, Ryder and says, "Yeah, I can." This is where, well, Issei says, "Damn, full of girls. Wow, it's not like I'm easily gonna one-shot them all." This is where Ryder kind of glares at Issei. But this is where he then says, whatever. He then says, "Queen, come here." This is where, well, they were about to start making out. And this is where Issei, he falls asleep on accident just because he didn't give a shit. This is where, well, Issei says, "If I kill him right now, what will happen? Maybe I should." This is where Issei, he then gets up, and of course they're like making out. This is where Ryder was about to touch Rias, and this is where, well, because he's still making out with that queen or whatever. And this is where, well, Issei says, "Okay, listen, the fucker, I don't care in what you're thinking about. Blah, 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 blah. You can be like, oh, goddamn God world, whatever. Can you stop for a second? This is getting absolutely annoying." This is where Ryder says, well, Razor says, "You're just jealous because I am making out with a girl and you can't make out with anyone." Issei says, "Okay, you're actually starting to piss me off. Not from the fact that I can't make out with anyone. Clearly, I just don't care about that. But, here we go. How about this present?" That's what, well, Riser says, "What do you mean, what present?" "Dragon breath." This is where, well, Issei's, well, kind of summons out something appearing from a portal, and this is where a dragon appears. Only a small, medium dragon that can fit in the room, and it sends a fire blast. It kind of just launching Ryder from the building. This is where the others, mostly Ryder's kind of like chess pieces or whatever the hell it's called, dare to try to attack Issei, but until shadow people appear, right now having swords all to their necks. Issei says, "Either you leave me the fuck alone, or I'll kill you on an instant without goddamn single care in this goddamn world." This is where Issei was right now, just staring at them with using death touch. This is where, well, all of them freezes out of fear. Even was it called the queen of, was it called the underworld? But yeah. This is where, well, the queen of the underworld says, "Okay, we are leaving, okay?" This is where, well, she then kind of gives Rias a 10-day kind of training, but yeah. That's where we go into that time skip, but yeah, Ryder was kind of hurt still, but yeah, that dragon almost did annihilate him if it was any more powerful than normal. This is where, well, Issei is right now with the others kind of just training, even though Issei doesn't need to be training. Well, he does. It's just, well, he doesn't really care. Issei is right now just laying half what. He does train the others and actually getting faster, stronger, and yeah. That's the where, well, the rock, mostly the rook or whatever the hell it's called, they try to attack him in strength. That's where Issei, he blocks a punch, blocks the other punch, blocks a kick, and blocks another kick, and that's where Issei says, is that the best you have? How about this? Issei punches her in the face, right now launching her down to the ground, smashing, making a crater down to the ground. Issei says, punch with that much force, you surely be able to break someone's head off. This is where, well, she won her eyes. She couldn't even defeat, well, Issei. Next was Anaka the Queen. This is where Anaka, like, sent attacks at Issei to try to defeat him. And this is where, well, Issei, he just destroys them all in an instant. And that's where Issei says, Shadow Manipulation, Shadow Daggers. This is where Shadow Daggers appear. And of course, there was multiple around what's called Anaka realized that she could have died easily. This is where, when he was fighting against Kiba, he speed blitzed Kiba in an instant. Just so fast that he was kind of knocked the fuck out. This is where Rias had to fight against Issei. Issei, he kind of just looks at Rias and says, do I really have to fight you? This is where Rias says, oh, did you take a liking to me? Issei says, no, you're just very pathetic. This is where Rias says, ow, that's so hurtful. Issei says, well, whatever. I'd rather not fight such a weakling. This is where Rias says, I'm going to kill you, know that? This is where Issei says, Aisha, can you please heal them all? This is where, well, she nodded, and this is where, well, Rias tried to attack Issei until Issei closes his eyes. And this is where, well, he kind of appears right in front of Rias, poking her in the head, and this is where she passes out. But yeah, this is where, Issei says, you can also heal her. She's only, well, not heal her. She's only knocked out for only a couple of seconds. So don't matter about that. Don't worry about that. What's it called? Asia. Asia says, okay. This is where, well, we go into mostly a time skip of 10 days, but yeah. Of course, when it was a hot spring, Issei was mostly sleeping in the hot spring, but yeah. He didn't care that much. But, yeah. This is where, well, we go into the 10 days are over, and now it's the rating games. Of course, where Soya is there and saying, so, there's your 5, well, chess pieces. There's Anaka, your queen, the rook. Well, I forgot her name again. Fuck. There's also Kiba, your knight, and also, well, yeah. So Rias is one being king, queen, rook, knight, and healer. So there's 5 in total. And this is where, well, Soya says you're not gonna ask Song or not Song, Issei for help. This is where Issei says, I'm already here. Jesus Christ, could you not sense? This is where Issei is right now taking a nap. There was a bed there and he was just taking a nap. So he says, why is there a bed here? What do you expect? I'm taking a quick fucking nap before I kick the shit out of, well, that guy. This is where, well, so he says, interesting. Are you confident in being able to take him out? Probably not. Who cares? This is where, well, Issei is napping right now. This is where, well, the rating games is starting, and of course, well, they all did get transferred. Issei is still asleep, but this is where, well, Rias kind of goes on with the whole plan and what is going to happen. Issei gets out there already. This is where, well, Rias says, Issei, can you not just slow down? Issei says, how about this? I wipe out all of his army in an instant. And you can go fight him. Or do you want me to fight him? This is where, well, Rias says, how about you? This is where Issei was already gone. There was only a shadow soul there. This is where the shadow soul looks at her, just confused. But yeah, Issei appears right in front of where, what's it called, the riser, whatever, with his army is still there. This is where, well, he's sitting there and saying, well, it's time to strategy, girls. This is where Issei just busts down the door and says, sup, motherfucker. This is where, well, Riser says, how, but why you here? That's where Issei says, don't worry about it. Shadow Soldier, Icarus, and, what's it called? This is where, well, Issei says, come out, Icarus, Baru, and Belian. This is where, well, they all appear. Mostly Icarus is right, well, mostly the left side of, what's it called, Issei, Beru is right now next to, well, what's called, mostly the right hand side, and then Billion is behind Issei. That's where, well, Issei says wipe them out from existence. That's where, well, he tells Beru to go after, well, the Phoenix guy, mostly the blonde hair. This is where, well, that happens. This is where Beru rushes past almost all of the servants, just send his ass through the building, and right now just launching him around. This is where Billion and Icarus already cuts down half of them, while Billion decides to make his sword extend and easily wipe them all out from existence, even the queen. They could not react fast enough. This is where, well, even the sister of what's it called, Razor, was killed in an instant. This is where, well, Song wasn't messing around, or Issei wasn't messing around. This is where Issei, he then looks up, and this is where, well, he gets out of the building after destroying it thanks to, well, Icarus and even what's it called, Billion destroying in an instant. This is where he gets on top and sees, well, what's it called, almost he just standing up there with a black coat. I should mention he is wearing a black coat, so the drip that he's wearing is this. He is wearing this. He's just dripped out, but yeah. But of course, with that drip that he's wearing, and of course the wind is blowing into his coat. This is where, well, Gray or whatever her goddamn name is, the announcer and all that, says, Ryder's entire team is wiped out from existence. Sung was the one to, well, not Sung. Issei is down there still, and of course, she is just shocked. This is where half of the Demon Lords were just shocked to believe that one person wiped out the entire army of, well, Riser, or mostly the entire, like, chess players. Issei is already powerful enough to wipe them all out. Now, the reason why Issei has what's it called, Baryon and also Billion, he already kind of, well, defeated them, or mostly Baryon, but yeah, transformed him into it. Now, Billion was already there. Issei is already the level of kind of like 60, but yeah, because I did mention that he was 50, but he's now 60, because every time he got the chance to go into a dungeon while being bothered, he did take it and went to do it. And this time he didn't take 6 months for it, but yeah. But this is where, well, Issei is looking up and seeing what's it called, Ryder just easily be smashed down to the ground, just dragged along in this like whole like place. Of course, his healing faster isn't fast enough, and this is where Issei says, "Baryu, come back." This is where Baryu does, and of course Baryu says, "Yes, my lord, my legion." That's where, well, Issei says, "You can all take a rest." That's where they all nodded. That's why, well, Issei kind of jumps down there and sees what's it called, well, the Phoenix that kind of gets up thanks to its healing factor and saying, "Haha, do you think I was going to dragon breath?" Issei's mouth becomes glowing and just, well, this is where Issei makes a dragon breath, and this is what it kind of looks like, just him blasting a huge blast from his mouth. Of course, that happening, and of course, Riser kind of just smashes into multiple buildings, exploding like a lot of them. Issei is kind of walking towards Riser, and Riser is just shocked with the power. Of course, he gets up and says, "You think I'm done? I'm immortal, you can't kill me." Issei says, "So you're immortal. What's an immortal towards a god slayer?" This is where Issei, he takes off his black coat, and this is where, well, Issei kind of just looks at, well, Riser and all that, and Riser says, "Huh? A god slayer? You're no god slayer. You can't even defeat me." Issei says, "I haven't even tried. If I tried, I can easily kill you. I'll make you die. Right now and right this. Well, let's see. If you're an immortal, and if I take out your heart, what would that make you?" This is where Riser widened his eyes, saying, "You can't even do that." Issei says, "Not if I don't try. Which I am going to try. Come out, army of my darkness allegiance." This is where so many darkness soldiers appear all around Riser. Riser widened his eyes. "Come out, dragons of destruction." This is where multiple portals appear with dragons roaring at will. Riser widened his eyes and pissed himself. This is where Issei says, "Let's take this off a notch. Wipe him out and annihilate his body into nothing but ash." This is where Issei, he went to kind of go sit down, while Riser is just screaming in the background, saying, "No! No!" He's getting just stomped on. He's getting bombarded with so many attacks that Issei is just sitting there and laughing like a madman. This is where half the demons are just winding their eyes and how powerful Issei truly is. That's right, Issei says. Dumbass. You really dare think that I was this weak when I could have shown my true power. And yet that isn't even my true power. He didn't even like summon out half his army. This whole platform, this whole like dimension, he couldn't even summon it out or he would have broke the dimension on accident. This is where, well, he barely summoned like 5 dragons and like a couple of like a quarter of his army. That's how much that Issei is right now holding back from wiping Riser from the face of the fucking planet. This is where, well, we go into Riser, whatever his name, Ryder. This is where he's already knocked the fuck out. He's passed the fuck out. He's been stomped, beat the shit up, stabbed, ripped, attacked, murdered, just got absolutely destroyed. And Song didn't even use his, elite, like his commander, his 3 commanders. He didn't even use his 3 commanders from the dragon side neither. He uses basically foot soldiers, elite soldiers, no, a lieutenant or any of that shit. Just wipe this man from the fucking face of the planet. This is where Issei kind of walks up to, Ryder, and Ryder is what the hell? Well, he doesn't say anything. That's where Issei pulls out a dagger and was about to stab this guy in the heart and says, "Goodbye, sucker." This is where Rhea says, "Stop, Issei!" Issei looks at, the newcomer, and yes, it's none other than Rias. Issei says, "What do you want, Rias? Do you not see I'm killing this little pathetic weakling?" I swear, Rias says, "You don't need to do that." "No, you don't." I swear, Issei says, how else are we supposed to win? He's not dead. He didn't disappear, unlike the others I did. Rhea says, "That's because he passed out. He already died." Issei, "You don't need to do any..." This is where Issei stabbed him in the heart anyway. The man was actually slowly dying. This is where Issei pulls out his dagger out. And this is where Issei says, "Do I look like a care, Rias? I don't listen to you because we're only Alliance members. So understand this now. I don't care." This is where Issei puts his shoulder, mostly his hand, onto his shoulder and just walks away. But yeah, that's where Rhea says, "Then what do you really care? Why do you have to kill people? Is that what your purpose is?" Issei says, "Probably. Who knows? I don't care." But yeah. So of course, after Song killing what's called the person named Raider or whatever, he absolutely murdered him, basically stabbing him through the heart, making him, even though he disappeared, and yeah, the healers couldn't heal him fast enough because what basically Issei killed him with was a dagger called the God Slayer, a dagger that basically kills gods. Yes, stabbing him through the heart killed him in an instant. This is where, all the Phoenix family is just horrified. The fact that they're, I think, what's it, the 3rd son? I don't remember what it was. It 3rd son or I don't remember. But pretty much their 3rd eldest son just got fucking murked. Like Sir Zactor, I think Sir Zactor, kind of just shocked. This is where, we go into the aftermath of the battlefield. Mostly, it's kind of, I haven't actually finished, what's it called, High School DxD, and I'm not even on season 2, 3, or whatever. Pretty much, I should mention one thing, and one thing only. I was watching the anime, mostly on the website, or a website somewhat, and, yeah, that website decided to just, cut out on me, and basically said, "Fuck you, go into another website." So, yeah, I didn't even know there was other seasons. I thought there was only 1 season. What the fuck? I'm about to go through fucking 8 of these seasons. Fuck. But I don't actually know what would happen. So either I just guess and continue on, or I would just end it off at a part. I'm just gonna end it off at a part, but yeah. So of course, what happens was next was, the aftermath happens. And of course, Sir Zex, or whatever his name is, mostly Rhea's older brother, appears in the battle, well, after the battlefield and all that. Mostly in the underworld. And of course, where, well, Rhea's kind of says, it's you, older brother. What do you want? That's where, well, her older brother ignored her and walked past her entirely and went straight up to Issei. This is where, well, Sir X kind of asked Issei, and what the fuck is he exactly? Issei looks at him and says, can I just go home? This shit's so boring. This is where Issei is about to walk away until Sir X was about to grab him from the shoulder until not Naruto. Issei grabbed him from his own arm, mostly his wrist, and says, don't touch me. God, why does every red-haired bastard or bitch or whatever always trying to grab me? Like, what the fuck is so important about my shoulders? Damn, you creepy fucks. This is where Rhea gets stabbed in the heart, like, ow. This is where Sir X says, huh, funny you are, aren't you? Yeah, what do you want then? This is where, well, Sir X says, I don't want nothing much. The only thing I want to know is, how do you feel about devils? Since you're not really a devil yourself, aren't you? I don't care about them. I don't care about their existence unless they piss me off. I don't care about the fallen angels unless they piss me off, which I already wiped them out from existence. And I don't care about angels unless they piss me off. So listen up here, you fucker. I don't care exactly in what you're thinking. Oh, you should probably bring your devil army to try to kill me, blah blah blah. I feel like that's what you're thinking. Well, shit. You better luck with that, because I only use 1/4% to wipe out that fucking loser of a red burning chicken off the face of the planet. So either you fuck off or leave me alone. This is where, well, Issei starts walking away and just goes to kind of disappear. Shadow exchange. The shadow soldier kind of just disappear by kind of going into Asia's kind of shadow. But yeah, this is where, well, Issei kind of appeared next to his house and just falls the fuck asleep. He's like, fuck this shit. But yeah, I'm going to end it off here for, well, part probably 2. Maybe if I want to continue this. I don't know if I want to continue this. But other than that, have a nice potato day. Or not potato day. Mostly have a nice chucklefuck night, day, whatever. I don't know. I haven't actually thought of my outro that much or even said my outro that much. So yeah. So bye, night, yeah, whatever. Bye-bye.